strange lands, friendly faces. Love is where you are. You're divine, wonderful one. You're mine. Of all the names for you, there's one that I prefer.
Residence. She can't. She's in the shower. This is Debbie Blaine. I'll take the message. Golly, yes, I got it. But you better hold on. Mom will get out of the shower for this. She'll never believe me. Mom! Mom!
What's the matter, Debbie?
The phone, Mom. Western Union. We're going to Japan in 5 days. Telegram from Daddy. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Hello? Hello? Yes, this is Peg Blaine. Yes, please, mail me a copy. Thank you. Debbie, we're going to Japan.
Yippee!
We're going to meet Daddy in...
In Sasebo. I wonder if Daddy will recognize me.
Of course, he saw you 4 years ago. Debbie, the war is over for us at last.
The war's been over for everyone for 6 months, Mom.
No, it ends for me right now. Deb, what if Western Union made a mistake?
Ah, they don't make mistakes. Besides, the wire said a letter of instructions from Daddy is on its way.
That's right.
Hey, let's get the trunks out of the garage.
I wonder what it'll be like having a husband again.
The same as it was before. Can't you remember, Mom?
Yes, I can remember. But it won't be exactly the same. Japan, cherry blossoms in the sun, fireflies dancing in the moonlight, lanterns swaying in the breeze. We never had that before.
Golly, Mom, I never knew you could be so corny. We got 5 days to get ready.
5 days, that's right. Come on, what are we waiting for?
With this third lesson, you should be able to say several phrases in Japanese. What does ohayo gozaimasu mean? Of course, it means good morning. And what does sayonara mean? You know, goodbye. Now repeat the phrases after me. Good night, oyasumi nasai.
Oyasumi nasai.
Goodbye, sayonara.
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 Welcome to Japan, my dear wife. Welcome to Japan, baby-san. Ko irashaimashita.
Drink this, Mrs. Blaine.
Are you okay now, Mom?
I'm all right, honey. I'm sorry. I never faint. It's just the excitement, I guess. So much to do in so short a time. Of course. I understand. It was just like a dream. I imagined we were already there. Oh, Debbie, I just know Sasebo's going to be so quaint and lovely.
Remember me?
I think so.
Maybe this will refresh your memory.
Only one American wife in Sasebo, and Blaine's got her. Ouch!
Just touched you.
Shots.
Typhoid, tetanus, cholera, diphtheria, and smallpox, too. We got 'em all. But it didn't bother me any.
Poor sweetheart.
Ah!
What, both arms?
Practically all over. Mom's a wreck. She felt awful coming over.
Oh, I'm all right. Just so terribly tired and punctured full of holes.
What a reunion for a sailor.
And Blaine's been waiting 4 years for this day.
Okay. You're the first American wife they've seen since the war. Debbie, they're not used to blondes like you.
I wish I weren't so tired. I might make a better impression.
Well, that's okay, ma'am. They don't think you're very important anyhow. It's the men that count with them.
Out here, it's a man's world, darling.
Maybe it's time for a change.
Oh, they seem to like it the way it is.
このアメリカの奥さんには女の子お一人らしいですね。
どうもそうらしいですね。
こんな立派なご主人に男のお子さんのないのは全く不思議ですね。I have a feeling she was talking about me, was she?
She was. She thinks I should get rid of you.
What?
You haven't produced a son.
Well, you tell her you've been away a long, long time. ありがとうございます、デイビーさん。
Look, Ma. Not exactly what we expected, is it?
No, it isn't.
You'll get used to it. You won't like it, though. One thing about it, there's no school.
Gee.
But they'll probably find a tutor for you at the convent.
Are there very many kids where we're going to live?
Millions of them. won't be able to play with them, though. You don't speak their language.
Hey, you're burning up. You really do have a fever.
I feel funny, sort of dopey. I'm probably catching a cold.
Well, a cold on top of all those shots will really knock you for a loop.
Oh, stop worrying, darling. Maybe it's just the excitement.
Well, anyway, you're going to bed just as soon as we get... Make it all right, dear?
Of course.
It's pneumonia.
Pneumonia? Well, we better get her to the hospital.
She'll be all right here. Corpsmen know their business. I'll get somebody in to take care of Debbie in the house.
I think I'll live.
I think you will.
Hi.
Hi. Well, you look a little more human today. You really had us scared.
You sure did.
Fine beginning I've made.
I've got to get to the office. Captain Arwen's been waiting for me. I should have been working 2 weeks ago.
You want to start working too, Mom, as soon as you see the furniture. Oh, it's awful.
You mean it's all like this?
Don't you worry, Debbie. Your mother will take care of it.
We need a maid, too, quick.
Oh, a housing authority will send over some girls just as soon as you're ready to interview them. I'll be back as quick as I can.
Cassie and I will hold the fort, Dad. Don't worry.
Okay.
Who's a cashier?
Our geisha girl.
Geisha girl.
Cassie came over to help us out. Dr. Carter told her we were in a jam. They knew each other in Tokyo. Her real job sure is funny.
What do you mean?
Well, Cassie's sort of a crying towel for the customers at the tea houses. You know, when the customers are tired or worried, Cassie sits with them and lets them talk.
I thought there was more to her job than that.
Well, what do you think she did? The cooking, too?
Well, I didn't know.
Cassie's wonderful. I wish she didn't have to go back to the tea houses. Mom, why are all of Cassie's customers men? Don't the women around here have troubles, too?
Maybe they keep their troubles to themselves.
Maybe. You want to see what the outside world looks like?
Debbie?
There are gardeners. Real nice guys.
Listen, come on, fine.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, thank you. How very nice. As soon as I'm strong enough, I'd like a little tea house set up in the garden.
Madam Blaine, don't worry. Father, sir, already tell us we fixing pretty.
Oh, but I know exactly what I want, so please don't do anything until I tell you.
Father, sir, say go ahead. Father, sir, boss.
I don't think you understand. I manage the house and the garden. I'm the boss in this department, and I'll tell you how and when I want it.
American Mama-san, boss ready?
In lots of ways.
アメリカでは女の方はボスになるとは妙じゃね。
全く妙だね。
You said so. I'm not building tea house yet. Mother, sir.
Mother, sir, you got a new name, Mom.
I think it means I proved my point.
Look, Akashi, the boys brought Mom a present.
You are better, Mrs. Blaine. We are all grateful for your recovery.
It was wonderful of you to help us, Akashi. I want to thank you.
When my friend, Dr. Carter, explained the situation, I was glad to be able to help. It has been a pleasing and unusual experience. I have learned much about America from baby Sam, much about Americans.
I hope you'll teach me about Japan and the Japanese people. There are a million things I want to know.
Sorry, Mrs. Blaine's been ill, of course, Commander. But that just proves my point. Women have no place with the occupation forces. Thoroughly disapprove of it. Thoroughly. Always have, always will.
Yes, I know.
The Navy is a man's world, Blaine. Bring in a woman and trouble starts. The history of our Navy proves this time and time again. Well, here it is. This is a tragic case. Paul Fulwell, captain of the USS Baldwin, decorated for heroism in the War of 1812. Sent to Tangiers in 1818 on diplomatic mission dealing with pirates, then warring on international shipping. Resigned under cloud immediately thereafter. End of Navy career.
I don't quite get the point, sir.
It's perfectly obvious. If Captain Fulwell hadn't taken his wife with him to Tangiers, she never would have met the pirate leader and run off with him. If she'd remained at home, there would have been no scandal. And Captain Fulwell could have continued his brilliant career in the Navy.
Now about my assignment, sir.
Oh, yes, your assignment. Military government headquarters is watching this operation. Sasebo's the testing ground. Your success as legal officer here could mean promotion. Staff billet in one of the top spots. Recognition from Washington. Anything a man could want.
I see, sir.
You've come here, well-recommended, Commander. It would be gratifying to me if I were justified. If I were justified in recommending you to headquarters. Understand me?
Well, sir.
Unfortunate your wife's illness has delayed you. Headquarters wants results, Blaine. Results, not excuses.
I'll be glad to write an explanation to Tokyo if you wish, sir.
Not necessary. Just hope this sort of thing doesn't happen again. Delays reflect on me, you know. It's all part of the responsibility of being a commanding officer. And you know how difficult it is for civilian government to function properly until this new code of laws is written?
As a matter of fact, I was in the middle of a meeting with Mayor Yoshida and his son-in-law when you sent for me. They're waiting in my office now to wind things up.
All right. Don't forget what I said. Sasebo, testing ground. Results, not excuses.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Sit down, gentlemen. Sorry I kept you waiting.
It's quite all right, Commander.
Well, I think we've covered most of the preliminaries. There isn't much more we can do until the full committee meets. I want to hear the thinking of the other men, too.
I can assure you of full cooperation from all of us. But my son-in-law will be of greater assistance to you than the rest of us. As our district attorney, he is our legal authority.
Your help will certainly make my job a lot easier, Mr. O'Hara.
I have arranged a luncheon meeting of the full committee, if it pleases you, at the tea house known as Plum Blossom.
Well, that's very nice of you, Mayor. Well, that's where Akashi works, isn't it?
Takeisha Akashi is sometimes employed there. You know her?
Well, she took care of Mrs. Blaine, who was ill. As a matter of fact, as soon as my wife is well enough, I know that she'd like to meet your wives.
Mrs. Blaine must be a very remarkable woman.
Madam Brain, pleased to introduce myself. From Housing Authority Employment Division, bring cooks and housemaids.
Well, good. I'm sure we can find a cook and a maid among all these. Come in.
Thank you. Koto-san, こちら。佐藤さん、right? 君子さん、こちら。富子さん、こちら。レイ子さん、楽曲さん、こちら。We thinking you need 2 cooks, maybe. You're so great, good government saying all Japanese now only working 8 hours. Then overtime very expensive. Cheaper, hire 2 cooks. You take Sato and Goto.
Sato, you're pretty young, aren't you?
No, please.
Oh, 22. Do you speak English?
I speak small, but I learn big, Madame Brain. Madame, I speak English and French also. You speak French, Madame?
Well, a little.
I cook very good for you, Madame Brain. Understand? I'm an excellent cook.
Remember, overtime, very, very expensive.
Well, all right. We'll try it and see how it works.
Good, good, indeedly.
Wow, 2 cooks. Some class.
I suppose it's cheaper to hire 2 of them.
Much, much cheaper.
Do any of you speak English?
Me, Akiko, speaking English, also small.
Kimiko, Tomiko, and Reiko, they work big.
I suppose they speak English and French, too.
No French. Little English. From Reiko and Tomiko. Kimiko speak English big for all 3.
But I want only 2 girls. I'll take Akiko and Tomiko.
No, please. Reiko-san, Tomiko-san, and Kimiko, we work together, Madame Brain. Please hire Reiko-san, hire Tomiko-san, and Kimiko too. Understand?
Do you live at home with your parents?
No home, no parents.
Please do her Akiko-san. She's fine. Very good girl. Please you very much.
Oh, you're friends, then?
Never see her before, but can't tell by looking.
All right. I'll take all of them, but I don't know what my husband's going to say.
That's easy, Mom. Just tell him we couldn't break up the set.
今お茶が来るだろ。お、これ。たびたび言うようだな。Mrs. Blaine is a most unusual woman.
そうでございましょうとも。でもね。
Speaking English, my wife. Servants should not hear this conversation. I understand your reluctance to call at the Blaine house at this time, but Commander has requested it.
Forgive me, my husband, but it would not be nice for me to go while the geisha is there.
It seems that American wives look at geisha with different eyes.
Americans look at many things with different eyes. My father-in-law, if you will permit me, it is too much to ask of my mother-in-law.
If my father will permit me, and my husband, since I am less than my mother, can I see the Americans in her place?
So, I would not take such a course ordinarily.
It would be a solution to the problem.
You permit her to go? 人様の手前もございますし、even if the geisha is there.
I will be glad to go to serve my father and my husband.
The only way a woman should serve her husband is to stay at home and raise his sons. We have no sons, and the old order is gone. I give you leave to go.
Necessarily because I want to. Good night, Oscar.
Hi, Commander.
I am Kimiko, new maid. Please to enter.
How do you do, Kimiko? I'm Commander Blaine.
Are Reiko-san and Tomiko-san, new maids.
3 maids? Well, we'll be well taken care of.
Are Akiko, father, sir?
4?
But there are only 2 cooks, darling.
2 cooks and 4 maids to take care of 3 people?
Well, enjoy it while you can, dear, because someday you'll be back in the States again.
Going on in.
A beautiful kitchen.
Everything new. Cost much money.
Americans very lucky. Their Uncle Sam very generous. I have some better.
So sorry. I think this kitchen beautiful. I am farmer's daughter.
OK, 皆さん、働きましょう、働きましょう。
Nice. Water running kitchen.
Oh, you model wa?
Bendy da wa.
I will cook breakfast. I are cooking too. Mother sir saying are.
It's a catastrophe.
Are forgetting what mother sir saying. No! Something wrong?
Commander Na, what's going on?
Go in this side. Me nothing. Sato-san, bruise Hughes.
The refrigerator has to be turned off before the hot plates are turned on. The hot plates off before the oven's turned on. I told you.
I remember it upside down. Make big mistake. So sorry.
I'm afraid we're out of fuses. Breakfast will be late, darling.
Don't worry about it, dear. I'll get breakfast at the base.
No, please. I fix big breakfast. Quick. You eat this. No need cooking.
No matter what I plan to do here, Debbie tells me to ask you how you do it. She thinks you do everything better than anyone else.
Oh, Debbie and I have become friends. Therefore, her opinion is influenced more by her emotions than the facts.
And I think she's judging pretty much by facts. You paint beautiful watercolors, you sing wonderfully, you dance, you do the tea ceremony. Your talents are pretty impressive, Akashi.
I have been trained to do these things. We geishas must be educated for our professions, just like a teacher or a doctor is trained for his.
Yes, of course, but you must have talent, too. You know, we're terribly excited about being in Japan. All 3 of us love this assignment. We're so glad Jack is stationed here.
The American marriage plan, it's like a partnership. I like that.
Well, I think most husband-wife relationships are basically the same.
In Japan, a wife follows, the husband leads.
Well, in America, the man is head of the house, too. Most of the time.
All of the time here, a wife would not even think of inquiring into her husband's business affairs, nor does he consult her about anything outside the home.
But they discuss their business affairs with you, and their troubles. I should think the wives would resent it.
I'm afraid some of them do.
There's more than one way to do the same thing. Who's to say which is best?
Oscar's here, Akashi. You ready to leave? He's already put your gear in the car. I must say, I'm sorry to see you go.
Remember your promise to come and see us often.
I remember. Friendship between a geisha and a wife is something new. You may be sorry.
I'll risk it.
I am Mitsuko O'Hara.
Mrs. O'Hara, I'm Commander Blaine. This is my wife.
How nice of you to come, Mrs. O'Hara.
This is Akashi.
Konnichiwa.
Bye.
Bye.
Excuse me, Mrs. O'Hara.
Bye, Kashi. See you soon.
Sayonara.
Won't you come and try it?
Here we go.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, honey. Where have you been?
Been trying to round up a baseball game.
Well, that shouldn't be hard. The Japanese are as baseball happy as we are.
Oh, the boys think they'll lose face if they play with me, just because I'm a girl.
If I know you, you'll find a way.
Oh, I will. I haven't found the right approach yet, but I'm trying.
Bye.
No Japanese husband would show his affection in public.
The way he acts in private is what really counts.
From what you have told me, it seems that American women are both wife and geisha to their husband.
Yes, I guess they are in a way. If you like the idea, why don't you women try to sell it to your husbands?
I wish I could. Japan is changing. Perhaps it is possible that husband may also change.
It's been known to happen. You can always give them a little push.
I have stayed too long. But what you have told me is of great interest.
Oh, please come again soon.
Yes. You are kind to suggest it. I want to learn more how American women do things.
I'll be glad to tell you all I can, and you can tell me about Japan.
To change your husband, if this can be, all things are possible.
Sayonara.
That's good. Hi, Daddy.
Hi, baby son.
This is Shoji. He's captain of the baseball team.
Well, hi, Shoji.
He doesn't speak English. He's a good catcher, though.
Kage desu ka?
Arigato, genki desu, Father, sir. I'm on his team now.
How'd you swing it?
I found the right approach. Shoji just loves bubblegum.
Six of them. I just can't get used to it.
It is sort of impressive.
What do you suppose your mother's going to find to do with all this help?
Well, for one thing, I think she promised to teach Mrs. O'Hara and some other ladies all about America.
That sounds like a good idea.
Mom says mostly the ladies want to learn how to change their husbands to be like the American kind. Is there such a difference, Daddy?
Well, Debbie...
Japanese husbands had it good for a long, long time. Now American know-how's gonna spoil it all.
Now, girls, the house needs a thorough cleaning.
We understand.
We understand.
Good. Kimiko, you does the shoji. Reiko, you wash the woodwork. Tomiko, you vacuum.
We understand.
Kimiko, this is what I want you to do. See? Oh, no, no, no.
No, no, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well, it's a cinch you can't all three use this.
What does I forget? Should unplug the refrigerator before unplug Hoover.
You are so right. Tomiko, you sweep, see?
Understand?
Well, have it your own way.
Madame Vreen, you refuse just to prove.
Women do not carry packages.
Of course not, Mitsuko. The men carry the packages. Well, he'd be embarrassed if his wife did it. He wouldn't be considered a gentleman.
Oh, so desu ka. How can I convince my husband that you are always right?
That's easy. Just hand him the packages the next time. Who's that? Who's listening in? Is this a three-way conversation?
No, fully listening, Mother, sir.
Kimiko, get off the phone.
I'm learning big from your talking, Mother, sir.
Kimiko, it's not polite to listen on the phone.
Understand, Mother, sir. Not polite to listen on phone. We go listen in hallway.
We often have lunch dates with our husbands.
In public places?
Of course, at hotels and restaurants.
In tea houses also?
Well, we don't have tea houses, but if we did, American wives certainly would go to them. Kimiko.
So sorry, Mother, sir. So surprised.
もう私アメリカ人が言ったことを言ってあげましょう。もしもし、中村さん、アメリカ人がね、いろいろ言いましたのよ。奥様ついていくんですって。はいはい。
I just can't get used to it. It's, well, we all have different ideas.
Some of which are not always adaptable. This is the point women do not understand.
My daughter admires Mrs. Blaine so much that she is eager to accept her ideas. As my son-in-law said, all of them are not adaptable to our philosophy of marriage.
Mrs. Blaine would be very upset if she knew that you were causing any trouble between the O'Haras.
Mrs. Blaine is the first American wife to come to Sasebo. As such, her influence, conscious or not, is naturally great.
It is quite unnecessary. Look, I'm capable of undressing myself. Look, I want privacy. Go away. Go away. That's an order.
I'm afraid she doesn't understand English, Captain.
Tell her to go away.
女中さん、行きなさい、あっち。
変な人ですね。
She was only doing her job, sir.
Strange business. Females in a man's bathhouse. Women have their place, but they should stay in it. Have no business cluttering up a man's world.
As you were saying, Commander, we all have different ideas.
And they're not all adaptable.
Do you object to the attendant because she's so plain looking? I will call a prettier one.
Good heavens, no. I mean, that's not necessary.
If I didn't know it was quite impossible, I would say that you gentlemen are afraid of what your wives might think. But, of course, it wasn't true. Only small boys are afraid of women. As soon as my bathhouse is ready, you'll join us there.
あなたこれ持ってちょうだい。
あなたにこれを持つんだ。
これくらい持ったっていいでしょ。
バカな女だな、女が持つんだよ。There is a new restlessness in Sasebo of late. I never saw a woman like that before.
Maybe she was just tired.
これ私の。僕のだ。僕のだ。僕のだ。僕のだ。私の。来たい。僕のだ。僕のだ。これ私の。
Little or big, they are all infected with a desire for change.
I don't quite understand what's happening, Mayor Yashida, but something is subverting your women.
Bye, Mayor, thanks. Bye, goodbye.
Debbie-san has told us much of this American drink. It is excellent. Mais oui, Madame Blaine.
I told you it was good.
We have become quite Americanized at the convent since Debbie has joined us.
Mais oui.
We're so grateful to you for taking her in. She just loves it.
It's fun. Sure is different from school at home.
Our girls are becoming more aggressive under Debbie's influence. She is an ardent women's rights advocate.
Fine, but I hope she's not disrupting things.
I've just been telling the kids that girls don't have to take a pushing around from any old boys. You know, like the stuff you've been teaching Mrs. O'Hara.
Some of the girls have followed Debbie's suggestion with surprising reaction at home.
Mais oui. Oh, boys think they're so great.
But, darling, you can't expect them to change overnight. Sato, what now?
Small mistake. Try making eating box cold. Take out food. Put in big ice. Throw broku. See what happened?
Sophie.
Mais oui.
And how?
Women at the table with men. Hey, what's the big joke? So silly.
Mother-san and baby-san are sitting at table with gentlemen company.
Men and women eat together in America. There's nothing funny about it. I told you that.
Very funny, Mother, sir. Very immodest.
We can do without this goldfish bowl. Here, Akiko. And we can do without all of this, too. Oh, girl.
I sitting the table same old way. Other way, beautiful party.
Madam Brand. So sorry. No water.
No water?
Yes, no water.
What are you doing?
I'm from House Authority, Plumbing Division. A building shower for bathroom.
Hey, that's swell.
House Authority, Plumbing both say, baby-san wants a shower bath. We're building shower bath.
I met the head plumber over at Housing Authority. I just happened to mention a shower. I guess they sent the workmen over as a surprise.
Surprise? A shower would be lovely, but right now we need the water more, so turn the water back on and build a shower tomorrow.
Oh, yes, please. Boss saying building shower now.
But I'm giving a dinner party tonight.
You say something?
I said I'm giving a dinner party tonight.
Wishing you a nice time, Madam Brown.
You might as well give up, Mom. They follow the boss's orders.
They understand, Mother, sir.
Everyone understand but poor Mother, sir.
We understand.
Darling, I know that you wouldn't deliberately start trouble, but I think you ought to be a little more careful of what you say to these women.
Well, I've only been answering their questions truthfully. You wouldn't want me to lie to them, would you?
No, of course not. But I think some of your pupils are learning a little too fast.
Well, I think it's just great. If they like our ways, there's no reason why they shouldn't adopt them.
Okay, forget it. You teach them anything you like.
But even if I didn't say anything at all, they'd see the difference. Unless I turned it into a Japanese-style life.
Hey, that might not be a bad idea. No, as a matter of fact, you stay just the way you are.
You know, darling, they think all American husbands are like you. Who's to blame them for wanting some of the same?
Thank you. Hey, it's getting late. I better get my bath.
Oh, I forgot. No hot bath tonight, but you can have a cold shower of sorts.
What do you mean?
Oh, Debbie and Sato thought it up. If I could stand it, so can you.
Okay, Sato. No.
Are you using my water next door house?
Thanks, that's very neighborly of you. Choco mate, Sato, choco mate.
Fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. A little public, though. You mean all those people were out there when you...
They were there, but I'm sure the window comes to here, Aunt May.
Oh. Arigato. Arigato. It's been a pleasure.
Well, I see your plan didn't work. I mean, about the men bringing their wives. I warned you it wouldn't.
You were so right. Mr. O'Hara was shocked at the suggestion. Mrs. O'Hara thought it was a wonderful idea.
When I asked O'Hara, he said he'd be glad to come. Till I told him his wife was included, too. And then he begged off in a hurry.
I'm surprised you even thought of asking the O'Haras, Commander. You know the custom of the country.
Well, I guess I thought they might break the custom just this once.
It was my idea, Captain Alwyn. It's an old American custom, taking one's wife to dinner. I thought the Japanese might like the idea once they tried it.
Just the other day, Mayor Yoshida complained to me about an element of unrest upsetting the Sasebo women. I'm beginning to understand what may be causing it, Mrs. Blaine.
The women are learning there's another way to live.
It is not our province, Mrs. Blaine, to interfere with the personal relationships of the Sasebo people. It'll only cause trouble. And I want no trouble in my command. No trouble.
How many main courses did you order, dear?
Oh, I ordered was roast beef.
Aren't we rushing Thanksgiving a little bit?
Aye.
You.
I can't explain all this.
Oh, don't apologize, Peg. I love simple food. Oh, I get it. It's a cooking contest.
Oh, Mother, sir. You like, I bet. American cooking, we understand.
We understand.
Beans, Captain?
Hey!
Coming.
What is this? Hobo Joe joins the Navy?
Not regulation, but distinctive. Akiko, come here, please. Stop scowling, darling. You're scaring her.
Well, it's no joke to ruin a good shirt, not at my salary.
Akiko, why did you patch this?
Oh, Mother, sir. So sorry, Father, sir, not liking sewing.
But this was a new shirt.
Are washing shattered? Are washing good, oh, Father, sir? Are ironing very bad? Are burning? Are hiding burning with pretty sewing? So sorry, Father, sir, not liking.
It's all right, Akiko. I think your sewing's beautiful.
Oh, thanking you, Father, sir. You like I sewing more your clothes?
Oh, the shirt's lovely, Akiko, but the Navy doesn't allow Father, sir, to wear these colors. Do you think Sato would like it? Here, Sato, this is for you.
Oh, thanking you, Mother, sir. Thanking Father, sir. Thanking United States Navy boss. Akiko, very fine sewing.
Excusing, oh, Mother, sir.
Akiko wants me to tell you she's glad you like her sewing.
Using, Father, sir. Please to drop in here.
Sato says he likes more than your sewing, Akiko. He likes you.
Telling rest, oh, Father, sir. Please.
He thinks you're as pretty as a cherry blossom tree in spring.
Akiko says she's unworthy of your beautiful compliments, but your words make her heart glad. She thinks you're like a strong pine tree growing on a mountain.
Sato wishes he were a poet so that he could tell you what's in his heart. He wishes he were a giant pine tree so that he could shelter you with his branches.
Someday the pine tree and the cherry tree may stand together with their boughs entwined.
Daddy, Oscar's here. He says Captain Arwen wants to see her right away.
Matana.
Until recently, no wife in Sasebo would have dreamed of questioning her husband's authority.
They want the same right as men.
That doesn't seem to be too unreasonable to me.
Some women demand more rights than men.
Many of our women are losing all sense of decorum. They will be invading the tea houses next.
Oh, I don't think they'll go that far. But what can we do about the situation? Military government can't act as marriage counselors.
It all started because our women wish to be like Mrs. Blaine.
Which is no fault of Mrs. Blaine's, of course.
Thank you, Mayor.
I would suggest, Commander, that you ask Mrs. Blaine to tell the ladies that their duty is to their husbands. Since she seems to have such an influence on them, they may listen to her. Women, always causing trouble, always causing trouble. The Navy should be the one place we shouldn't have to be concerned with them.
I don't think Mrs. Blaine would be willing to give such advice to the ladies, Captain.
Oh? Then perhaps the request to Mrs. Blaine should be in the form of an order, Commander. Captain Arwen speaking.
Teletype, sir, from Mrs. Arwen.
What's that?
She's coming to Sasebo, sir.
When?
First available transport via Tokyo, sir.
Thank you. You'll have to excuse me, gentlemen. Get this revolt of the females put down at once, Commander. The Navy used to be a man's world.
I am answering.
Hello? Hello?
But this is I answering.
This phone I answering. Can answering good now.
Hello? Hello?
I forget the man bosses, Kimiko-san.
The battle of the sexes is spreading. Hello, Sato. Kamiko, hello.
Hello. Go, Kimiko. Blaine House, Dragon Heights. Who you, please?
Sato, this is Commander Blaine.
Sorry, you're not home.
There's something about a phone that just throws them.
Maybe I'll install carrier pigeons. Operator! Operator!
Number, please.
Number 7, Dragon Heights.
Number 7? I just ringing that.
Ring it again, please.
I ringing.
Maybe it'd be faster if we took a ride out there, sir.
Wait a minute. Hello?
Fleet Officers Club.
Wrong number.
So sorry. Making mistake. Try again.
They're going to try again. Maybe I'll be lucky this time.
3 wrong numbers is the absolute minimum, sir.
Hello?
How you, please? Miss Okamoto speaking. Not wanting, Mr. Okamoto. Trying again.
Shall we go out there, sir?
We're not going anywhere. I'm going to fight this out if it takes all winter.
Moshi. When distance?
Let me talk to Mrs. Blaine.
Oh, Mrs. Blaine is out, Commander. Is there a message?
Is that you, Goto?
Yes, Commander. I'm Goto.
Where's Mrs. Blaine?
Oh, I am sorry. Mrs. Blaine go with Mrs. O'Hara to lunch at the Plumblossom Tea House.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I'm sure. So sorry, sir.
Let's go, Oscar.
Please, you must leave. This will cause a terrible scandal.
The first woman to do anything causes a scandal. The next woman to try becomes a leader of fashion.
I know what you're trying to do, but this is not the way. Even in America, it would be considered rude for a wife to break in on her husband's business conference. And what you're doing now, more than rudeness, you're breaking old traditions.
It's time somebody had courage to break these old taboos. Will you come with me?
Of course. Don't worry, we're not going to kill anyone.
But you are doing maybe worse.
Peg.
Hi, honey. Surprised to see me?
Jack, you look like Carrie Nation in uniform. All you need is an axe.
Well, let's hope you haven't brought the axe down on our necks.
Go home at once.
American women meet their husband at brunch without special permission. It's an old American custom.
Peg, you've got to look at it from their standards. Just because you don't agree with them doesn't mean that they're wrong. Mitsuko O'Hara practically destroyed her husband's self-respect today, and you helped her.
All you think about is O'Hara. What about Mitsuko? I think her husband was horrible to her.
What did you expect him to do? Thank her for making a fool of him in public?
You're beginning to sound like Captain Arwen. Honestly, Jack, I don't understand you. You're writing a new code of laws for this town. You've included equality of sexes, women's right to vote, and all the other things we have. Yet when it comes to a thing like this, you sound like somebody out of the Dark Ages.
Because I'm helping to write a code of laws for these people is just the reason that you've got to stay out of their private lives. They have enormous respect for what I'm trying to do. But they won't respect me if you drag me into the middle of a husband and wife fight. Just remember, it's the guy in the middle that always loses.
Oh, I see. Stick up for what you believe in, just so you don't stick your neck out. A fine, brave attitude.
Commander Blaine. What? All right. Tell Captain Arwen I'm leaving immediately. I've got to get back to the office. Mitsuko O'Hara's disappeared.
Jack, Mitsuko is here. Well, she wouldn't go home, so I told her she could stay here.
From this are coming big trouble.
Major catastrophe.
All right, Commander. Continue.
Well, sir, Mitsuko flatly refuses to return to her home until O'Hara comes for her. She's even afraid to go to your home, Mayor.
My daughter has caused her husband to lose face. She must beg him to receive her back into his home.
Bad idea for your son-in-law to give in. A man should never give in. Be a sign of weakness. There's a tragic case in this history, but it's an illuminating example for us, gentlemen. Captain Fenton, commander of the brig Argonaut, 1822 to 1823. Good officer, fine record, but he had an interfering wife. She ruined his career, gentlemen, blasted it utterly. Just another case of a gallant man who met disaster because a woman interfered in a man's world.
A sad story, Captain Arwen.
Oh, there are many, many others. History is full of them.
Captain, the longer Mrs. O'Hara remains in my house, the more embarrassing it is for all of us.
My daughter has shamed me also, but I will take her home to her mother. Either she must show a contrite heart, or her husband will cast her out. Meanwhile, she is too embarrassed to continue his work with your committee, Commander.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mayor.
This is bad. This is very bad. Headquarters won't like this. There's no telling what the repercussions will be.
It's a good thing I came straight from the airport, Hubert. I will have to straighten this out, or headquarters will be blaming you.
Gentlemen, my wife.
She mowed him down like a 10-ton tank. Now I can understand why he hates anything female.
Jack, what's going to happen?
Well, Captain Arwen demands that you return to the States, or he's going to request headquarters to transfer me out of Sasebo for the good of the service.
Darling.
Fun around here, but not anymore. We ought to be glad we're being transferred.
It's always best to stay and finish the job, honey.
Don, you've got to let Debbie and me go home. It's the only sensible thing to do.
How many times do I have to tell you, sweetheart, you're not going home? Maybe we'll be transferred to a better place than Sasebo.
Don't put on an act for me. I know how much you want to stay here.
Not under Arwen's conditions.
Oh, if I'd listened to you in the first place, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Darling, stop knocking yourself over the head. What's the use? We're in the Navy and Arwen's the brass.
It's all Mrs. Arwen's fault. She's trying to make Mom the goat.
What do you mean, Deb?
My friends at the base have been telling me how Mrs. Arwen calls all the signals for the captain. Everyone's talking about it.
You shouldn't be gossiping, honey.
Oh, it's not gossiping when you tell the truth, is it? All the boys are on your side, Mom. They say Mrs. Arwen wants to get rid of you because she can't stand the competition.
That's a comfort.
You know something? She's right.
You didn't do any more than I did, Mom. We were both standing up for women's rights. And if Captain Arwen wants to send you home, he's got to send me home, too.
I think the captain knows when I go, you go with me.
My fighting female. You're both staying with me. Where I go, you go. Don't you forget it.
I've got to get over and see Mayor Yoshida. I've got to get as much done as I can before the transfer comes through.
Jack, you mean the Captain Arwen have put in a request for the transfer already?
Mm-hmm. Yesterday. Now stop worrying about it, darling.
I'm not worried anymore, just mad, and more at Amelia than at Captain Arwen.
If all women were like Amelia, I'd be convinced the Japanese way of treating them is right.
Maybe Captain Arwen should ask O'Hara and Mayor Yoshida how to handle Amelia.
The results might be as drastic as yours with Mitsuko.
You know, you've given me an idea. Maybe we've just lost the opening skirmish and not the battle after all.
Just what do you mean?
It'd help a great deal if you talk to her. She might listen to you.
I must say, my dear, I'm pleased with your attitude. I thought you might be resentful, though I only did my duty in advising my husband as I did.
Well, I've made a terrible mistake, and I must try to correct it before I leave.
I'll correct your mistake for you. Delighted to do it for the good of the service.
Then I can expect you at tea time tomorrow?
Yes. And I look over the house then, too.
Look over the house?
I told Hubert yesterday that I wanted to see your house. If I like it, we're moving in as soon as you leave.
Mother, sir, just surrender to enemy. We all dead now. I'm not understanding this tea party. Please to explain why Mother, sir, entertaining enemy lady. Wakarimasen. Mrs. O'Hara starting all trouble for Mother, sir. Madam Arwen starting all trouble for Father, sir. Mother, sir, smart lady if she kicking out both ladies out of house.
No, Madam Bren, too smart for that.
All right, knowing Madame Owen, talking, mouth never shut. Very big talker.
Yeah, she's Oshaveri.
Talk. A good wife must have humility. She should accept her husband's decisions without question.
This is not how it is in America. This is different from what you have told me. Different from what I have seen.
Well, Mrs. Arwen and I think differently about some things, Mitsuko.
I've had a great deal more experience than Mrs. Blaine. After all, I am a little older.
A little older? Big talk, big ear aching.
What ails that girl?
She doesn't speak English very well. She's just stringing words together.
Unfortunately, you have gained a wrong impression of American women. We try to influence our husband with gentle suggestions, but we never insist on having our own way.
Mom, Captain Arwen's here. He's waiting for Mrs. Arwen in the car.
Tell Captain Arwen that I am waiting in here.
Please ask the captain to come in, dear.
Okay, Mom.
I never let my husband forget that I am a lady. Now, where were we?
On the subject of gentle behavior.
Oh, yes. Gentle submission is the motto of the happy wife.
Captain are coming to door with baby son. Looking very scared. Are scaring him?
Thank you, Sato. Come in, Captain.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Blaine. My dear. Oh, good afternoon.
Really, Hubert, did you expect me to come trotting out to the car?
I didn't want to intrude, my dear.
It is a nuisance getting out of a car just for a wife. I always tell Jack to blow the horn.
Well, I'd like to see any man honk for me. Sit down, Hubert.
Yes,
I've more to say to Mrs. O'Hara. Now, my dear, I want to speak to you frankly. You are behaving very unwisely. Hubert, one lump. As I was saying, your conduct has been upsetting everyone. You must be sensible.
Really, my dear, I think that if
Now, Hubert, don't interfere. One must be firm, one must be frank. Mrs. O'Hara, you should return to your husband at once. Well, we must run along. I'm sure Mrs. O'Hara is going to be sensible. You've been very helpful, Mrs. Arwen. More than you realize. If I had come to Sasebo earlier, none of this would have happened.
Yes, dear.
Goodbye, Captain Arwen.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Blaine.
I'm sorry to put you through this, Mitsuko.
It was an object lesson. That is what you intended.
I guess I needed it more than you did. This is a horrible example of what happens when we go to extremes. Our going to the tea house was much worse than what Mrs. Arwen did this afternoon.
Marriage customs are like dress pattern. The same pattern does not fit all women.
Now, I shouldn't have tried to fit you in my dress.
I have been most stupid. I hope my husband will forgive me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Goodbye.
Don't go.
Goodbye.
Don't go, sir.
Do you know when you ought to leave, Commander?
Within a few weeks. Perhaps after the first of the year. But we'll keep right on working up to the last minute.
Commander, I'm pleased to tell you that I am to be a father in some months.
Well, congratulations. Peg will be very glad to hear it. She's wondered. She hasn't seen Mrs. O'Hara lately.
Yes, Mrs. O'Hara has not been too well, but now she is in excellent health. She would be pleased if Mrs. Blaine would call on her.
Fine.
Now we understand my daughter's behavior. At a time like this, women sometimes act strangely.
Well, everything's okay, and I'm very glad for all of you.
And we are grateful to Mrs. Blaine.
Goodbye, Mayor.
Goodbye, Commander.
Goodbye, Mr. O'Hara.
Commander Blaine, Madam Owen is taking credit for Mitsuko O'Hara's return home. It isn't fair.
Peg won't care. The main thing is they're back together again. Besides, Mrs. Arwen did help.
But not the way she thinks.
Well, could we help it if she mistook her marriage license for the Articles of War?
Just came from the house, sir. Mrs. Blaine says that you're to meet Captain Arwen there instead of over at the base.
Well, did she say why?
Yes, sir. She invited the captain to tea, but I don't think she's planning a purely social visit.
So good of Mrs. Blaine to ask me over this afternoon. Nice to know she bears no grudge. I wanted to talk to you alone anyway. Easier here than at the office.
You look tired, Captain. Sit down.
Thank you very much.
Goto suggested hot sake instead of tea.
Oh, don't care for it much.
Oh, now, come, Captain. You wouldn't want to hurt Goto's feelings, would you? You've never tasted anything like it. It's wonderful, isn't it, Jack?
Oh, sure. Sure, it's great.
Commander, I've been doing considerable thinking about you.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry about the way the situation's developed, particularly now, so close to Christmas. I'd like to keep you, but, well, it's awkward trying to recall the transfer request.
I see, sir.
The Navy used to be a man's world.
It's too bad it's changed, sir.
These cups are awfully small. Mistake to allow women to follow the occupation forces. Always said it. Always said it.
Yes, indeed, sir.
Makes a man sad to think of all the seafaring men whose lives have been ruined by women. Some of them good women. Well-intentioned, too, I suppose.
It's sad, sir. Shall we drink to a Navy without any women?
Warms a man, doesn't it? I'm sorry about everything, my boy. I wish that... Well, it's devilishly awkward. Women should keep their proper places.
They do, Captain, when men make them.
Hmm?
I said they do keep their proper places when men make them.
You're absolutely right, Mrs. Blaine.
Some women might not admit it, but all women like masterful men. See how well it works here in Japan.
The Navy used to be a man's world. I said that before, didn't I?
Yes, indeed, sir. And I said it was too bad it had changed, sir.
To a man's world. Good night, Mrs. Blaine.
How much of that liquid dynamite did we drink?
I don't know, I lost count. But enough, apparently, to supply backbone where there was none before.
Be careful. Don't break any branches.
Yeah.
Nothing can happen to this tree, boy.
Yeah.
I think that's the best place for it.
Merry Christmas tree.
Oh, Debbie. You know we're not allowed to cut down trees in Japan.
All okay, Madam Brain.
I got permission from the head of the military government. He's a friend of mine. We needed a Christmas tree. I told him red tape about a Christmas tree was silly. He thought so, too. Thanks for helping us, Mr. Okada. Don't forget about our other deal.
No forgetting. Saying goodbye now, please.
Goodbye, Mr. Okada. What other deal?
Oh, it's a surprise for Christmas. What are we going to do about the trimmings? Where's Daddy? He might have some ideas.
Not now, he won't. He's, sleeping. I don't think we have to worry about decorations. Half the Christmas tree ornaments in the world come from Japan.
We help with trimmings. No worry with heads altogether.
How's it coming?
How's Daddy?
Better. I just changed his ice bag.
Poor father, sir. Headache and very bad.
Oh, he'll sleep it off.
We understand. Ball are prettier.
Bird up prettier.
Ball on honorable top side.
A rock in the boat. Kimiko, stop it. Let Sato put the bird on top of the tree.
Yes, Mother, sir.
Oh, Mrs. Blaine, I must talk to you alone. I just must talk to you. Something dreadful has happened.
Please go into the kitchen. You too, Debbie. Come sit down, Mrs. Alden.
I need a woman's advice.
Sit down.
Hubert has gone mad. He's been drinking. He accused me of all sorts of terrible things.
There.
He even threatened me, too. And he says from now on that he's the master of the house. But I never said he wasn't. But I tried so hard to do the right thing for him.
Well, maybe he didn't mean it.
Oh, yes, he did. He's never been like this before. He means it.
Come in, Captain Alden.
Sorry to bother you, Mrs. Blaine. I told you to stay home, Amelia. Come along.
I don't wish to.
We are going home, Amelia.
Yes, Hubert, dear.
Say good night to Mrs. Blaine.
Good night, Peg.
Good night, Amelia.
Good night, Mrs. Blaine.
Good night, Captain Alden.
The worm has turned.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Captain Arwen, big man now.
He just sunk battleship.
A what?
A battleship.
Oh.
Isn't it lovely?
They certainly did a great job.
Well, Debbie's a great little promoter. By the way, where is she, dear?
She went out with Sato and the girls right after breakfast on some mysterious errand. Oscar's driving them. Has Captain Owen heard from Tokyo yet?
No, not a thing. Well, rescinding a transfer request isn't done every day. Maybe you threw them.
Well, whether it goes through or not, I don't feel so awful about it now. Though I'll hate to leave here.
Well, it was pretty decent of Arwen. Must be pretty hard for a guy to admit that he's made a mistake, especially on paper, because it stays on his record.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, dear. Come on in, dear.
Merry Christmas.
How are you? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Please take note of who carried the packages.
Thank you. There are packages for all of you under the tree, but I have strict orders not to distribute them yet.
My son-in-law is learning that pleasing a woman in small things guarantees him victory in large issues.
Mayor Yoshida, you're a very wise man.
Only an old one with long experience.
Well, shall we all have a drink? We have a special Christmas brew made by Dr. Carter.
It's right in this way.
Thank you. Oh, Jack, would you take over? I've got to get the door.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Commander.
Christmas, Mrs. Arrow.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Merry
Let me have you.
Oh, what
Thank
a
you.
lovely tree.
Isn't it
Oh, that's a beautiful tree.
that enchanting you?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Akashi.
Merry
Come on
Christmas,
in.
Akashi.
Christmas.
Oh, Captain and Mrs. Arwen, Akashi.
How do you do?
Oh, that's the most beautiful outfit I ever saw. Hubert, I must have one just like it.
But these kimonos are for geishas and dancers.
Amelia, you're not the type.
Yes, Hubert. But I just know that a robe like that would do wonders for my personality. No?
Frank? Sake, Doctor? No, my own personal prescription.
Jingle, baby, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride along the open sleigh. Jingle, baby, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Oh, they're great. Aren't they great, Peg?
Oh, girls, you're adorable. Darling, it's wonderful.
Where did you get that outfit?
Christmas present from Boys and Housing Authority, military government, and Navy personnel. And the captain made me first honorary wave as a sable.
Me, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas.
We reindeers. Santa Claus reindeer. Understand?
We understand.
Oh, who are your little guests, honey?
Oh, there are kids around town who didn't know about Christmas. Akashi and Oscar helped me find them.
Thank you, Akashi. Oscar. This is the nicest Christmas I can remember.
Had a lot of fun. Deb's a great girl, Mrs. Blaine. She's been tracking down these kids for a couple of weeks now.
Me, Santa Claus. Giving now the presents, baby son?
Sure, that'll break the ice.
Before Santa Claus hands out the presents, may I give out one?
Of course.
Tell them, dear, it's so exciting.
Amelia, I'll take care of this.
Yes, dear.
My boy, this came this morning from headquarters. You're remaining in Sasebo to finish the job.
Oh, Daddy!
Amelia?
Yes, dear.
One more thing in the Tokyo Dispatch. A Christmas present to you from headquarters.
Oh, Jack!
I told you there could be a promotion in this assignment, Captain.
The excellence of Captain Blaine's work reflects the wisdom of his commanding officer, Captain Arwen.
Why, that's very kind of you, Mayor Yoshida. Very kind.
Please, Father, sir. Now, everybody happy. You stay, we all keep job.
Right, Sato.
Okay, Father, sir. Now, please to asking Akiko to marry me.
Ready, Mother, sir?
Ready, Father, sir. Understand?
Congratulations.
Come on, kids. Come and get a Christmas present. Come on. Maybe I got for you. I got for you. Look, here's a doll, and it's got real hair. Arigato gozaimasu. Here's a razor. Hey, arigato gozaimasu.
Oldest tricks in the world. And yet with these tricks, the bunco racketeer robbed the public of $200 million every year. There's an abundance of evidence in the police files that palm reading and mind reading and the like are rackets. And the so-called wheels of fortune are almost invariably manipulated by the operator to bilk his victim. And yet I don't imagine there's one of you here who hasn't lost money on at least one of these bunco games at some time in your life. The doorway peddler usually starts by saying he found what he has for sale when it fell off a delivery truck. He always says he doesn't know the value of what he's got and asks what you'll offer. The fur is genuine mink, and the victim knows it. And his instant thought is to take advantage of the peddler's ignorance. That's when he falls into the trap. The sale is made. The peddler helpfully provides a bag and wonders if anyone is coming. The victim obligingly turns his back. The bunco man makes the switch. You can see now why the bunco artists are responsible for the expression, left holding the bag. Now, you people make the law, and you should help your police enforce it. As you know, I represent a special section of the police department called the Bunco Squad. It's our job to help you. So won't you please help us? Thank you.
Steve,
Steve, Captain Edwards wants us right away. I'm sorry, folks. Excuse me. Thanks for getting me off the hook. No, it's on the level. We'll want it down at headquarters. You know Rand of Homicide? Sure. How are you, Rand?
Just came from covering a suicide at the Guillermo Hotel. A retired Midwestern banker by the name of Burke.
Taken for his life savings in a phony stock deal.
Going over some of his belongings, I came across these magazines about horoscope, astrology, and fortune-telling. Thought it might be an angle for the bunco squad. Well, if I can be of any further help.
Thanks, Rand.
See you later.
This suicide is the third tragedy caused by a swindler in the last 3 months. You know, people come out here to retire, spend a vacation, and they get taken with these con men and bunco artists. Every time this happens, the newspapers and the public raise a howl.
Do you suppose he was steered into this by a fortune teller?
We've certainly got all kinds out here. I'm not sure, but this looks like the work of a big-time operator. So far, he's been smart enough to cover up his tracks. But they all need an organization. Stooges, the shills, the ropers. If the real brains is using any of the phonies we have here in Los Angeles, that's the way we'll get to him. I want you to case every faker in town. If any of them look suspicious, pull them in. Warn them we mean business. But never forget, it's the head man we're after. I don't know who or where he is, but I do know one thing. He's out there, someplace.
It was very nice meeting you, Barbara. Will I see you again?
I certainly hope so, Tony.
How about dinner tonight?
Oh, I don't think we should until she...
Oh, yes, of course. We'll say in a week or so.
Will you call me?
Mrs. Royce, may I express my deepest sympathies?
Thank you, Mr. Wells.
Hello, Fred.
Hello, Tony.
Would you put the bags in the back, please?
Yes, sir. Did you have a good trip?
Very interesting.
You hear about our friend Burke?
Yes. Suicide, huh? That's too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Who are those women?
Oh, that's a Mrs. Jessica Royce, a widow with $2 million, and a very charming secretary who happens to be penniless and lonesome.
Who are you interested in?
Both of them.
It's been a wonderful day, Tony.
Won't you change your mind and have dinner with me tonight?
Oh, you forget I'm a working girl.
Is Mrs. Royce complaining about my taking up too much of your time?
Oh, no, neither am I.
Barbara, I'm glad you're back.
Oh, Mrs. Royce, this is Tony, Mr. Wells, the gentleman we met on the train.
How do you do, Mr. Wells?
How do you do, Mrs. Royce? Nice to see you again. You're looking extremely well.
Oh, I'm feeling very much better, thank you.
Did you want me for something, Mrs. Royce?
Just a few letters, dear. There's no hurry. Would you excuse me?
Surely. I have to be going myself. Just a few weeks ago, she was the most grief-stricken woman I've ever known. What's happened to cause this extraordinary change?
The gentleman who just left, Dr. Largo, is responsible.
Dr. Largo? He must be a remarkable physician. Is he a specialist?
Oh, actually, he's neither a physician nor a specialist. I believe he's called a consulting psychologist.
Consulting psychologist?
2 visits a week. She never makes a move without him.
Surely she doesn't believe that sort of...
Completely. But as long as she's happy, I don't care what she believes in. I must go, Tony. Thanks again. Call me soon?
Real soon.
This is a fine way to track down a big-time bunco operator. You got any better ideas? I have to talk to one more phony fortune teller.
Your future looks very gloomy. The cards are not bright.
Yeah, well, I got news for you, sister. Your future don't look so bright either. I see bars and you behind them.
Very sorry. Do not understand. My English is not very good.
Oh, you'll catch on, honey, when you talk to the judge. 30 days is 30 days in any language.
Oh, why don't you lay off? Look, you guys got nothing on me. I'm running a clean place, see?
See that you keep it that way.
Got a lot of class, hasn't she?
And so you see, gentlemen, the power of numbers has had a great influence on men. Most of their lives.
Oh, lay off, will you? This is the oldest numbers racket in the world, and you know it.
Numerology, sir, is a great science.
Okay, Professor, but remember, one complaint, we'll introduce you to the science of making little ones out of big ones.
But, Grace, I've been busy. Well, you know, work. Oh, but Grace.
Keep quiet, Steve. Just hold on.
Honey, are you all right?
Cut! Steve?
Okay.
Oh, of course I'm all right. That was just a scene from the picture
Let's
I'm
bring
working
that one.
in.
Cut it short, will you?
I've got to go. I'll pick you up tonight.
That's the trouble with being a cop. You always got a legitimate excuse to give your wife or sweetheart, but they don't believe you anyhow.
Well, I don't know about you, but win, lose, or draw, I'm taking Grace to dinner tonight.
Who's next?
Annie Cobb.
I thought you were still writing for the San Quentin Times.
Just a warning, Annie. Don't get too clever with your customers' signatures. We don't want them showing up on forged checks.
My profession is to judge a man's character by his handwriting.
Especially when the letters turn up in court, huh?